Hello everybody, and welcome back to another vlog. Now, I've just been very busy in the workshop this morning, doing a bit of work for Peter as usual. He wanted me to shorten a PTO shaft for the baler just over there, so I've done that. It's all ready to go, if only it was baling weather. Yep, out there it is very miserable, and also I'm sure this roof is leaking. It's dripping through in a few places, but anyway, yes, I need to go back over to Peter to tell him that I finished the job, and that, well, the baler is ready to go in the future. Yeah, I doubt it's going to be used before the end of spring anyway. I can imagine the first job it's going to do is haymaking, and yes, we're nowhere near haymaking season yet. Also, you might have noticed this monster of a tractor sat here. It's not the same tractor as before. I didn't know he was going to be doing this, but he has replaced it. He's replaced the 7726 with a 7720, so he's gone for a smaller tractor in the same series. But yes, it is the Massey Ferguson S 7720, so it is obviously very new, brand new. I think it's a 69 plate, so yeah, 69 reg is very new. Anyway, we have some bales here. The dealership decided to get Peter to pick these up in the rain, which he really wasn't pleased about. They just had them sat outside getting wet, so he had to go and very quickly get them and put them in here. So everything's a bit wet at the moment, but he does have a job for me involving those bales in a minute. I'm not too sure what it is, but he did say come and speak to me when you've done the PTO shaft, which I've now done. So let's go and speak to him now. Oh yeah, very, very miserable out here. Yes, he's even left his weight just there because he needs to get that fitted to the new tractor. But anyway, Peter, see if I can get in out of the rain. It's good to hear that you've got the PTO shaft sorted out. Anyway, I now have another job for you. You've probably by now noticed the Massey Ferguson 7720, which is in the shed with you. I'd like you to take that over to my cow farm. In one of the sheds at the cow farm is my Massey Ferguson 5610. It's attached to, essentially, a bale shredder. I'd like you to put all of those straw bales into the shredder and then give the cows their fair share of straw. Not a problem. Hang on. Give the cows their straw. I didn't know they had any cows. They're just settling in, but they are very happy. And it needs to stay that way. So that's what the straw is for. It is their straw bedding. Okay, so that sounds fairly simple. Shall I keep the shredder where it is and just allow the straw to be dumped onto the ground there? Oh yes, definitely. The straw needs to remain dry. For some reason, the dealership sold me wet straw, which I'm really not too happy about. I will be having words. Okay, right. Well, I'll head off then. We're going to do that. It is going to be a case of transporting the straw in the rain again, but hopefully, if we get there quickly, it's not going to be too wet. What's this on the back? Silage cutter. I guess we could use the silage cutter. And the bucket would probably be a more sensible option, but he's obviously put it on there for some reason, so I guess I should use what he's put on. If it doesn't really work, then I could always come back for the bucket, I guess. So yeah, I don't think my trap's in the way. Let's just jump straight into here, and we'll head off. Yeah, the first day on the farm for this tractor, and it's a very wet day. It could certainly have been nicer weather. I should probably close the shed door. We don't want it to rain in too much. And yeah, that gate's already open in front of us, so it should be a good clear run. We don't have to stop for anything. And then we can just get the straw shredded. Now, the other concern of mine is the fact that we might have to put the trailer of straw outside. And of course, in the meantime, it's going to get wet. Oh, yes, he's also rolled all these fields. They're all done. So that's going to really boost the quality of the grass, we're hoping. I'm surprised he didn't take it back to the yard. It's probably going to make me do that later. Anyway, let's head off and we'll get this done. What a grim day. It's so wet and muddy. Hopefully there's not another big flood on the way. It has actually, to be fair, been raining for about a day solidly, so well, I know that Peter is very frustrated about it because he wanted to get onto the arable fields today and do some fertiliser spreading, but clearly that's not going to happen. It's an absolute washout. At least he does have another job for me to do, but I don't think it was his intention to do this today. Although, yeah, I guess it is a priority to get the cows bedded down. I'm surprised to see so many people walking around outside. There's quite a few people on the streets. Absolutely tipping it down. I would certainly prefer to be in here. But we are going to have to be outside quite a bit in a minute or two. I don't know when the rain's going to stop. It doesn't seem to be showing much sign of clearing away. There's a few breaks in the clouds over there actually. It's a bit blue over there. But overall, it's very overcast. And it's been like this, like I say, for it must be close to 24 hours. It was raining yesterday evening. It started yesterday evening, so I guess 18 hours or so it's been raining for. Anyway, here we are. This is where we need to be. I'm looking forward to seeing the cows. I didn't even know he had any. He does keep a few secrets. I still don't know if anybody actually lives here. I don't think they do. I think it is just an unoccupied farmhouse. Well, the gate is open over here, so I would imagine this is the way to go to. This is the way to go, I should say. Is that it? That's it. Right, okay. So we need to get this under cover. It's not very well positioned. I think, right, if he wants it to be shredded into here, I should probably put this against a wall. I don't know exactly which side we can load. I think you can load from any side. I've never used this before. It's actually a very interesting looking bale shredder. Is it attached? It is, but it doesn't have the PTO shaft attached. That is fine, we can sort that out later. Just for now, get this thing positioned to one side so we can actually get the trailer into here. I might even have to take a quick break. Well, I say a quick break. A very long break, so that I can allow the weather to calm down a bit. Okay. The further over to that side I can get it, the better. That's for sure. But it looks like we do have a conveyor belt which needs to unfold, so we need to have plenty of space behind the machine. And actually, I've just thought, if he's going to make me shred with this, unless it has its own engine, which it doesn't because it has a PTO shaft, we're going to have to get another tractor onto that. It's interesting. I don't know if this tractor is going to be suitable. It might be a job for the Ford, but I'm going to have to make do with what we've got. We are going to have to put this tractor onto it. So really, I think it should have been the other way around. I should have had the drop nose Massey Ferguson on this trailer and this tractor on the shredder. But there you go, it's just the way it is. Maybe if I can angle it a bit. I don't know if I'll be able to, but it might make life a bit easier. There we go. Right, so let's just turn around, and that's not very accessible. I need to pull the electrics out. There we go. Well, at least it's undercover, which is something. We're not going to rot now, at least. But yes, I'm going to take that off there because it's just not really going to be suitable for this tractor. And it is the front-loaded tractor, so it's going to be completely pointless having this tractor on there. I won't be able to load the bales at all. So it's going to be a bit of very tight manoeuvring, swapping the tractors over. And actually, we do have a light switch there, so I might even switch the lights on in here. Make it a bit more cheery. Right, so let's jump out. We'll put the PTO shaft on. All of these hydraulics and stuff. There we go. And yeah, I think this is going to unfold. Now, I guess all we do is switch it on and then start putting the bales in. And it's going to create a pile here. Actually, I might put it a bit further back. We'll just see how far back the conveyor belt goes. Okay, it seems to go quite a long way. Actually, looking over that, it's going to create a pile here. So I could put it back a little bit more, I suppose, but not too much. About there, maximum. There we go. So, yeah, we'll create a pile there. So I think without any further ado, the best thing to do now is to start unstrapping the bales. They are wet. They really are wet. They've travelled from the dealership, they've been sat outside of the dealership, and they've travelled to here all this morning. I think Peter deserves a bit of compensation for these because they really are not that high quality bales. They were before they were wet. Anyway, I'll do one at a time to begin with so I can actually figure out the capacity of this thing. I've never used it before, never even seen it before. I didn't even know he had it, so It does look interesting. The Haybuster H1130. I don't know if it's old. It looks quite old. But anyway, let's get it all started up and then we can see what it's like. Okay, we are ready to go. Of course, the other thing is the roof of the shed. I need to make sure I don't hit it. So the bale goes in, the bale comes out. Intriguing. Exactly as I thought it would be, yet still very satisfying to see. Very, very satisfying to see. Well, eventually we're going to have to scoop some of this up and give it to the cows. I think we'll keep going until it looks like we have a lot in here, because obviously I don't want it to go all down the gaps of the shed. We need to stay confined to this area. When we have shred all those bales, it is going to come to quite a bit. So yeah, he doesn't seem to have any kind of shredder which can just put it straight into the animal enclosure. It has to be shredded in a different shed first. So interesting. It is just very interesting. Now the cows are over here. We're going to need to have the straw in here. And there's actually quite a lot of cows. So they do seem very happy, I must admit. They've got the feed, so Peter's done a good job feeding them. Well, he did say they had the water. Let's just enter the field. Yeah, they've got water. So yeah, they do seem to be very well looked after. But I expect little else, because Peter does seem to be quite good at maintaining the productivity of animals. They're always very happy. Okay, so seems to be done. We'll do the next one. I think we can just keep loading it. Bale after bale, we don't necessarily have to wait for it to completely shred. I really don't know what the capacity is, but I would imagine it can hold at least 2. And so yeah, looking at the pile, I would say it's not going to be too long until there is a pile which is a bit too large. Right, I'll just reposition that. Seems to get stuck on the fork, which makes sense because I shouldn't actually be using this. It's all I've ever been told to use. It's like he doesn't actually have a bale spike. I don't know. Now why is that stopped? There we go. Good. And now we can get the next one loaded up as well. And then I think we are going to put that, well, silage cutter on. Yeah, I can't really see any reason why you couldn't use a silage cutter. It's just, we're not really cutting anything here. We are just very simply scooping it up. So that's why I recommended the bucket before. But if it just doesn't seem to work properly, I can just go back and get the bucket. After all, I know exactly where it is. Right. This could be interesting. I suppose I just don't need to cut, I just scoop it up. Just like this, there we go. I'll close it just so we don't lose anything. And then, yep, over to the cow enclosure over here. I can give them the straw they definitely deserve. I could just position the conveyor belt into their enclosure and then I could just spread it out with this. That would be quite a good method. But obviously today that would be completely pointless because everything is going to get soaked. But it's a good job that he has this nice big shed to actually work in. It's big enough to not only manoeuvre but also to load up the bale shredder and keep all the machinery in there. Very impressive stuff. Oh. Spread that out a bit. Okay, so they have all the straw they require, which means everything from now onwards needs to just remain in the shed. Now he did specifically say to shred every single bale. I'm guessing this is to dry it out. I don't know, but it's obviously going to fluff it up quite a bit. I think he's just very disappointed about them being wet in the first place. So I better do as I'm told. He did definitely say shred all the bales, so I will shred all the bales. It might also be because he's taking this machine back over to his other farm. He doesn't want to have to keep transporting it every time. So he does a batch of bales and then gets them all ready to give to the cows. Right, so we've got another load to shred in there. It is currently quite full. but there's almost space for a third one. I think, yeah, 2 is the sensible amount to actually put in there. But it's looking good. Looking very good. I think there will be space. There's going to be space for all these. No problem at all. I think there was 8. I don't know exactly how many there were. 8 bales, I believe. Ready for the next bale. And then we have just 4 left. So we're almost halfway when that one is processed. It's actually quite a fun job. I'm very happy doing this. I won't mind at all if you gave me this job more often. It's got to be one of the more satisfying jobs on the farm. Anything to do with destroying things or shredding things is always very satisfying, unusually. That is a big pile. I just need to keep checking to make sure nothing's going over the back, but it does seem to be okay. I think I might just pull forward a bit, because I really am very wary of it making a terrible mess, because it can actually go down the side of the shed and then go out the back. You know, some of it has fallen out, but not much, so that's fine. It is just a case of keeping an eye on it, because there is air gaps down the side of here between the brickwork and the whatever the wall material is, some kind of corrugated material. And finally we have the last straw bale. This is going to be quite a supply for him. He is really going to have a lot of straw for the future. Let's just hope he doesn't start to rot. Oh, the bale hasn't quite shredded yet. Must be very close to completion, so we'll put the next one in. There we go. That one's finished, and there is the final bale. So I can very safely say that things have gone well, which pleases me a great deal. I hate it when things go wrong. It's always just bad. And also look at the weather. That's something that has gone wrong. That is really bad weather. So I wonder how Peter's now going to manage the 2 farms, since he has sheep at one farm, cows at this farm, and obviously he has the big farm somewhere else, but he did say somebody else manages that. So, I don't know, he might put me on to feeding duties over at this farm possibly, or maybe the other farm, who knows. There are a lot of cows here. I would like to know what breed they are. Anyway, the thing is done here. They've just finished, good. So, I don't know what he wants me to take back. I would guess that I should take back everything which I have brought. That would be the obvious thing. So if I get that loaded back onto there, I can leave this tractor attached to that. Okay, almost there. Just got to get this really aligned. Oh, it's a very tricky, awkward situation that we're in here. Now, it wasn't all attached with the PTO and stuff when I got here, so we'll keep it just attached to the tractor, and that should be absolutely fine. There we go. So that's it. Done. And I would say it's a nice, neat job. It's not all over the place. So let's now have a nice fun journey back. I didn't turn the lights on, did I? I could have done that with more illumination, although it doesn't make a huge difference. Yeah, I've saved a bit of electricity, we'll look at it that way. Good. Back into the tractor, and I'll shut this shed door. I think it was open when I got here, but yeah, I think it is safer if I do close it all up. Some things he just expects you to do. Bit of common sense and all that sort of stuff. This gate was open too, but I don't know about that. I think I might just close the main gate over here. Anyway, yes, I'm now feeling very hungry. We're going to go and have some food. And owed a break, so a break I will have. Right, and then we'll have to go and speak to him and see if there's any more work this afternoon. But in this rain, I'm guessing that all of his field work will have to be called off. It's just not going to happen. I have no idea how much rain we've actually had, but it must be a very substantial amount. And there's his sheep. Got loads of sheep. Must be doing very well out of the animals, but yeah, it's all very important to keep them well fed, well watered and all that sort of stuff. Nice and healthy. I want to speak to him. I'll have some food first, and then I can speak to him, get him through his firewood too. Well, the weather really has improved, which is very good to see. I'm just going to speak to him now. He was in the house. I think he was in the office, so I'll just have to go and get his attention. So you mastered how to use it then? I am very impressed. Well, yeah, it's quite a satisfying machine to use. Oh, I love it. It's great fun using it. Anyway, is there anything else you'd like me to do today? Actually, yes, there is one more thing. My Ife Williams trailer is down at the dealership. They were doing some work on the brakes. Can you go and pick it up for me? Absolutely. As for the tractor over there, shall I just leave it where it is, or do you want it putting away? Oh, leave it where it is. It's fine. I'll be using it soon anyway. Okay. Well, I don't know. Well, I suppose the best thing for me to use is the Ford. Actually, I think I will just move it a bit. I have put it in a very bad place. I'll put it over here. Up against the hedge. There we go. At least people can get in and out of the yard now. Yeah, I think the Ford is going to be the best machine to use. Obviously, we would love to use a pickup, but unfortunately the pickup is no longer with us. Which is very sad to hear, really, because I did like it and it was very new. I don't know what he's doing with his insurance. In fact, yes, he doesn't have his courtesy car. It's interesting. Anyway, it's not really any of my business. One thing which did happen, though, between the two vlogs is the police have been. They're very good, they've noted everything, and, well, they were very concerned about the brakes being, well, sabotaged, basically. So they are investigating. They're investigating, and they're hopefully going to get to the bottom of it all. Because clearly, somebody either is playing an incredibly bad joke, or is trying to hurt one of us. Right. Yeah, I've not spoken to Dennis for a while. Have to find an excuse to speak to him at some point. And here we are. How many changes have there been here? A few tractors seem to have sold. Anyway, here is the Ife Williams trailer. I'm pretty sure this is Peter's. Yep, that is, definitely. So, yeah, I'll go and take it back. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what Peter does about his pickup, whether he's going to get a direct replacement, so exactly the same thing again, same colour and everything, or if he's going to go for the same brand and model but a different spec or different colour, or just a completely different vehicle, completely different brand. It would be very interesting to see. I'm not going to ask him, I'm just going to wait and see what he does. He really does need to have a pickup, so I'm sure at some point very soon we are going to see exactly what he chooses to go for. I would say, because he'll have insurance and all that, so he will probably be able to get things sorted pretty quickly. I think he's going to go for the same model, different colour. That's what I'm going to say, but I don't know. Yeah, you sort of associate things with bad luck, so he's had bad luck with that colour of vehicle. He might think, I'm not going to get another one the same, because it might be bad luck again. But he could go for a different colour, makes it different. Or I could just be speaking a whole load of nonsense. Almost back. So yeah, I'm hoping, and I'm sure Peter is too, that tomorrow is going to be a different day altogether, where we can actually get onto the field. This is one of his fields, I think. Is it one of his fields? I've lost track because he hasn't actually given me a map yet. And anyway, hopefully by then we can get onto the fields and do some fertiliser spreading or some spraying or something. And it should be much better. What is that doing in there? Goodness sake, he hasn't bought that, has he, from Simon? Oh, Dennis.
Ah, hello Daggerwin.
Dennis, good to see you again, by the way. You haven't been ripped off with this tractor, have you?
Why, what's wrong with it?
You bought it from somebody called Simon Collins. You must know him from Letton. He was trying to charge £20,000 for it. At least I think it was 20,000. Maybe it was even more. What did you pay, if you don't mind me asking?
Never you mind. There's nothing like 20,000 though.
So, are you going to restore it, or What? Because it doesn't work.
And that's where you're wrong, Daggerwin. I've already driven it.
Already driven it? That was in the floodwater at Letton. How could you have driven it? It doesn't work at all. Simon had to tow it to here.
Oh, Daggerwin. Oh, you don't know much about me. I'm an expert mechanic.
I wouldn't have known. So you've got that running?
Aye. Spent a whole evening on it yesterday. Works fine.
What about the electrics? Surely all the electrics are really bad, and water in the engine and everything. It's been in that floodwater upside down, everything.
I know what I'm doing.
Well, it's good to know that he has got some skills, because well, how has he managed to get that going? Well, I'm not going to ask him again what he paid for it, but if he paid anything like 20,000, I feel sorry for him. Anyway, I'll leave him to it. He can buy it if he wants to. I'm looking forward to seeing it then. I wonder if he's going to restore it fully. I would soon wipe the smile off Simon's face, because I'm pretty sure he thought it was just scrap. I thought it was scrap. Clearly Dennis knows what he's doing, which is hard to believe. Anyway, I'm just going to put this in here. I think that is it for today. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll be vlogging again tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Bye for now.